Traffic was terrible. And every time, I convinced myself to believe him. Because when you love someone deeply, your heart often protects them from your own suspicions. Then came our 7th wedding anniversary. I spent the entire day preparing. I bought wine, cooked steak and mashed potatoes, put fairy lights around the dining room. I even played our wedding song softly through the speakers. At 7 p.m., I waited excitedly. At 8 p.m., I checked my phone. At 9 p.m., dinner turned cold. Then finally, at 10:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. Busy with clients, don't wait up. That was all. No apology. No happy anniversary. Nothing. I sat alone at the dining table, staring at the candles slowly melting into wax. And suddenly, tears rolled down my face before I could stop them. I remember whispering quietly to myself, "Why am I not enough anymore?" The next morning, Daniel acted completely normal, like he hadn't shattered my heart the night before. He kissed my forehead quickly while pouring coffee. "Morning!" I stared at him in disbelief. How could someone hurt you so deeply and sleep peacefully afterward? But the worst moment came 2 weeks later. Daniel had fallen asleep beside me on the couch while watching television. The room was dark except for the blue light from the screen. Then his phone lit up on the coffee table. A message appeared. "I miss you already." My stomach dropped instantly. The contact name said, "Michael, client." But no man sends messages like that. My hands started shaking. I picked up the phone carefully, terrified Daniel would wake up. There were dozens of deleted conversations, and one unread message. Last night was amazing. My entire body went cold. I slowly turned toward my sleeping husband. He looked peaceful, comfortable, like a man with no guilt at all. And in that moment, something inside me quietly broke. Because deep down, I already knew the truth. My husband was cheating on me. After discovering the messages on Daniel's phone, I stopped sleeping properly. Every night, I lay awake beside him, pretending to rest while my mind tortured me with questions. Who was she? Did he love her? How long had this been happening? And the most painful question of all, why wasn't I enough? The next morning, Daniel acted exactly the same as always. Calm, relaxed, normal. Meanwhile, I felt like my entire world was collapsing. I watched him carefully during breakfast. The way he smiled at his phone. The way he avoided eye contact. The way he rushed out the door without kissing me goodbye. Suddenly, everything made sense. The late nights. The emotional distance. The coldness. My husband wasn't tired from work. He was giving his energy, attention, and affection to another woman. For the next few days, I carried the secret alone. I wanted to confront him immediately, but fear kept stopping me. Because once someone admits betrayal, your marriage changes forever. One afternoon, my best friend Rachel came over unexpectedly. The moment she saw my face, she frowned. "Emily, what happened?" I tried to act strong. I really did. But the second she hugged me, I broke down crying. I showed her the messages. Rachel stared at the phone silently before whispering, "Oh my God, Hearing someone else confirm my nightmare made it feel real. I remember pacing around the kitchen, shaking with anger. "Maybe I'm overreacting," I whispered desperately. "Maybe it's not what it looks like." Rachel grabbed my hands firmly. "Emily, men don't send heart emojis to clients." Deep down, I already knew that. But sometimes denial feels safer than heartbreak. A week later, Daniel told me he had a business conference downtown and would stay overnight at a hotel. The moment he left, something inside me snapped. I couldn't sit at home wondering anymore. So I followed him. Even now, remembering that night makes my chest hurt. Rain poured heavily onto my windshield as I parked across from the hotel entrance downtown. My hands trembled against the steering wheel. I kept telling myself, "Please let me be wrong." Then I saw him. Daniel walked out of the hotel lobby beside a young blonde woman wearing a red coat. She was beautiful, young, confident, effortlessly pretty. But what destroyed me wasn't her beauty. It was Daniel's face. He looked happy, alive. He laughed while touching her lower back gently, the same way he used to touch me years ago. Then she leaned closer, and he kissed her. Not quickly, not guiltily, passionately, like a man completely in love. My entire body went numb. I couldn't breathe. I remember gripping the steering wheel so tightly, my nails cracked against the leather. Tears blurred my vision, while I watched my husband hold another woman like she mattered more than I ever did. At that moment, something inside me broke permanently. I drove home shaking uncontrollably. By the time Daniel returned the next afternoon, I had barely slept. He walked through the front door casually, loosening his tie. "Conference went well," he said. I stared at him in silence. The lies sounded effortless now. That terrified me most. Finally, I whispered, "Who is she?" Daniel froze immediately.